Welcome, everybody. We are on our sixth and final Sizzling Summer webinar series. For those of you that are returning, forgive me, my background has changed. That's because I'm in a different location today, and I just sprinted from our sales meeting over here. So if you see a little slosh coming from my forehead, that's where that's from. Anyways, we're excited about today's topic. We saved the best for last, as they say, Greg. Did you know that you were the best?
No, but thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, we saved the very best for last. And, the topic around marketing and social media, particularly online and social media marketing and real estate, has been a hot one for the better part of the last really 2 or 3 years. 5 years ago, when people talked about social media, there was no thought of building a business off of social media. I mean, it just wasn't a thing. It was kind of like an afterthought, right? And so today we have a lot of success stories, clients in our coaching company, clients or agents that, just reach out to us and come to our events. We have a lot of people that are having success through social media and online. And so we have spent some time in putting together what we believe are the keys to succeeding with social media and online. And we're going to share as many as we can with you over the next 55 minutes or so. But before we do, because I know every single time we do one of these, Greg, our staff tells me that we have 20 to 30% of an audience that's brand new. If you can believe it, it's the first time that they're hearing from us. And again, for those of you jumping on, that's why I'm going to be soaking wet by the end of this, because I just sprinted from our sales meeting, which was about a half mile away to get here. So for those of you that are joining us for the first time, welcome. Thank you for spending your valuable time with us. Thank you for taking a chance on us. I want to share with you a few free resources, because we get asked all the time, where do I gain access to that? How can I get my hands on this? And after I'm done going through those free resources, we're going to get into today's topic, which is building a social media online brand presence through marketing, which is something that both Greg and I know very well. So first things first, my name is Jeff Glover. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, been in the business just over 19 years and been listing and selling between 75 and 125 homes per year, quite honestly, for just over the last decade. I'm on the ground with you. A lot of people follow Glover U and come to Glover U events because I'm listing and selling alongside of you. Our team in Michigan does between 900 and 1,000 transactions a year. And I'm very proud of our group and very proud of the progress that we've made, and very important that I stay on the ground. So that way we can share with you things that we're doing right now, not things that worked a year ago, not things that worked 6 months ago, things that are working right now. And I'm going to commit to you to continue to do that. So let me share with you some resources, because we may mention a few of them during today's session. And quite honestly, for those of you that are joining us for the first time, which we know there's probably 25% of you, this may be the first time you've heard of these resources. So first things first, I want everyone to write down or type into your computer the word morning. Just write down morning, MORNING. And next to that, I want you to write a 5-digit number. That 5-digit number is 55444. 55444. Greg, we're going to have, makeup artists, come and powder our noses and our faces after we do stuff like this. No, I'm kidding.
You got the Richard Nixon thing going on there.
That's right. If you text the word morning to 55444, you will be signed up for our daily message. Every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday, every Friday. I'm sending out a message, something informative, something inspiring, something informational relating to the real estate business. Many times it's the same things I'm sharing with our team. To this morning, I shared something that we covered in our listing mastery program. Yesterday, I talked about a topic that was in relation to succeeding with buyers right now. So every day I'm sending out a message, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's absolutely free. All you do is text the word morning to that phone number, 55444. You text the word morning to that number. It's yours for free. You're signed up for free. There's no spam there. We spam you in other ways, so don't worry about that. You'll get enough of spam emails from us. Text the word morning to 55444. Totally free to join us. While you have your phone in your hand, open up your Facebook app, because the Mac Daddy of all resources is found in our Inner Circle Facebook group. So you go to Facebook, You click on the little magnifying glass on the top right-hand corner, and you're going to type in Glover space the letter U space inner circle. Should look like that. Glover U inner circle. It is a free Facebook group. I guess they're probably all free, Greg. I can't imagine there's Facebook groups that cost money yet. It is a free Facebook group that you can join. And the reason why you want to join is because anytime we share a new video, anytime we share a new script, anytime we share a new idea, we drop it in there. While you're in there, it's going to ask you if you'd like to subscribe to our quarterly publication. I'm looking around to see if there's one here. It's called the Glover Gazette. Greg, do you have one on your desk? This is a test. No, it's okay if you don't. Oh, there we go. He's got it. He's got it. Oh, he's got two of them. All right. Three. Okay. Glover Gazette is a quarterly publication. We produce 35,000 copies. We send them out to top producers all across North America, and it's totally free. If when you're joining the inner circle, you want to subscribe to the Glover Gazette, it's going to ask you if you'd like to subscribe. Just make sure you leave your address in there. It's a physical magazine, 40, 50 pages of real estate sales, training, tips, ideas, strategies, so forth. Now, if you're already in the inner circle, but you don't get the Glover Gazette, then you just go to gloveru.com/Gazette. All right, Gazette, there's two T's in Gazette, gloveru.com/Gazette, and it's yours. It's free. We mail it out to you. We'll have it out as soon as possible. We produce 35,000 copies of those quarterly. Okay, there's some free resources. Take advantage of them, especially that daily message. We're getting a lot of good feedback. I think we have now, Greg, 2,000 agents across North America receiving those. Oh, last but not least, if you're a podcast fan, I know many of you are, it's been our recommendation for years. There's 5 days in the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Our podcast is called the Live Unreal Podcast. My recommendation, you listen to one podcast per day, 5 days per week, and you mix it up, right? Maybe you do John Maxwell one day. Maybe another day you do How I Built This. Our podcast, again, it's called Live Unreal Podcast. We drop a new episode each and every week. I think we have close to 100,000 downloads already on that. Again, that's called the Live Unreal Podcast. Okay. Without further ado, I'm excited about today's topic, Greg, because not only have you been a great producer and a great team leader of Ohio's #1 real estate team, you're also very well known for your marketing and your success with marketing, particularly through social media. So Greg and I have been talking through the years. Of course, Greg is now a coach for Glover U, and they do run the #1 sales team in Ohio. In fact, they spank us. I'm glad I'm not in Ohio, because I'd have to say I'm #2, right?
Well, I'm your employee, so you win.
Whatever. Anyways, so Greg is known for marketing. That's his shtick. And a lot of our agents in Michigan, by the way, Greg, would say the same thing about me. You know, if they don't know my background, my business was built on actually phone prospecting and door knocking. So I was never the marketing guy up until about 2012, when we first decided to get into mass advertising. And of course, now you have to know marketing once you start in mass advertising. So Greg and I collaborated, right? You take the #1 guy from Ohio, the #1 guy from Michigan, we put our minds together, and we're going to share with you as much as we can in the next 50 minutes or so about what it takes to succeed in the real estate industry today, not last week, not last month, in relation to marketing and particularly social media advertising. And so Greg has a presentation that he's going to share. And Greg, I'll let you take it away from here. And then we're going to finish with some other cool announcements and things we want to share. So
perfect.
Join me in welcoming, throw in the chat, do something. Hey, Greg, welcome, Greg. Join me in welcoming Greg to the virtual stage, so that way I can try to cool off and maybe
yeah,
right.
I think we all give you permission to go find a towel. It's fine. Just take a break. No, Jeff, I really appreciate it. And what the first thing, kind of like lay this out, is there are three legs to this stool as far as marketing and growing and developing a large empire type business, or any business in real estate. And there's prospecting, there's marketing, and there's personality based, right? And most people, and I want everybody watching to kind of ask themselves, what is their strength? Is it their personality? Do people list with them and find them because just love who they are? They're very gregarious, they're outgoing, people find them, they trust them, they know you care about them. That's #1. That's personality based. That can't really be trained, but it's something you can always work at, and self-improvement, etc. Number two is prospecting based, which of course Jeff Glover, I would say, is pretty much the king of, and that's something that's attracted my entire team to his organization, and that's why I'm here. I would not say that my team is specifically prospecting based. I would say, though, that we are marketing based, and that is an entire leg to this stool. So find out what your strength is, double down on that, but understand that all three of these things are extremely important if you want to grow and continue to grow. And that's what I love about real estate. It just never ends. There's always something to work on, whether it's, quite frankly, your personality, or it's your prospecting and your daily schedule, or marketing. But marketing, I felt, deserved its entire class, an entire focus, because we can attribute our success to a marketing-based system. So with that, I will open up, and I've got a pretty limited amount of time here to try to share with you guys the best nuggets that I can right off the rip. So I'm going to drive into this. So Jeff, let me know if this is coming up good. Are you guys able to see that screen? Yep. All right, perfect. So the concept is we want to become a local celebrity. It is a popularity contest when it comes to the marketing-based plan of sales, of real estate sales. So what we're going to talk about is the goals here, and I'm going to hit what I can. So remember, this is recorded, so I'm going to talk really fast. It's one of the things I'm really good at. So we're going to talk about, and I'm going to condense this as quick as I can with the heavy content so that you guys can really take away some great information today. So number one, we're going to identify what the objective is when you're listing a home. Number two, we're going to help you figure out how to become number one online. Who doesn't want to be number one online, right? Content. A lot of times people, they don't have any thought. People being realtors, real estate teams, brokerage houses, they don't have any thought behind their content. They see something else somebody else likes, and then they implement it without a true progression to that point, to understanding why they're posting what they're posting. Affordable progression. How do you do this in an affordable way? A lot of folks want to understand how they can get into video or get into heavy marketing in an affordable way. And then finally, just some tricks and tips and tricks for infotainment, etc. So with that, Jeff, if you're good with that, I'm going to dive into the first thing. First question is, what is the marketing objective when listing a home? I'm going to give you one hint. It's not to sell the home. Yeah, I know this is recorded. My competitors will probably throw this in front of my my next listing appointment. But I am passionate about helping realtors understand how to build their own business. So I'm gonna really lay it out here for you to help you grow. So let me go through some slides here, and I'm going to answer this question. But again, the question is, what is the marketing objective when listing a home? It's not to sell the home. So the basics of marketing is, in order to thrive in real estate, you must list the homes of people you don't know. Now that's going to scare the personality-based folks, right? The personality-based folks, because they're only going to be able to sell, their lid is the amount of people they can come in contact with, right? So prospecting allows you to call strangers. Marketing allows strangers to find you. But again, in order to thrive in real estate, you must find strangers and you must list their homes. Number two, customers must become aware and find your services. If they cannot find your storefront, then you're not getting the business. If they're not even aware you have a storefront, how many times has somebody said, oh my God, I didn't know you're a realtor? That is a marketing void in your business. That's your fault. That's on you.
Can I ask a question, Greg? One of the things that stands out to me here, because I know a lot of us are taught, whether it's our first month in real estate or our first 6 months or year in real estate, you can build a big business by working your database. And I know you would agree the answer to that is absolutely you can. However, the very first slide said becoming number one. So I think it's safe to say, and correct me if I'm wrong here, you can build a massive business by just working with people who know you and referrals and so forth from them. But you're not going to become number one until you master the other side of it, which is getting business from people that don't know you, total strangers. Would you agree with that?
Correct. Absolutely. Yeah. You've got two sides. And I think a lot of brokerages house, and there's a lot of great training. And of course, it's kind of like getting that low hanging fruit. But if you want to dominate your market, if you want to become and get to that next level, you have to be able to manage the low-hanging fruit, which is your SOI through your database, et cetera, but also then jumping into prospecting, jumping into marketing and grabbing strangers from places you didn't even know, from organizations or hospital systems, et cetera, that have multiple other opportunities and other people to work with, new relationships, new friendships, and increasing that SOI so that you do become a celebrity. Hence this course. How do you become a local celebrity? How do you dominate that market? So thank you for that question. Yeah, customers were going to shop online and they're going to self-educate, sell to them where they are, and don't wait for that call. So you have to meet them where they're at. They're self-educating. That is the way of the world as of right now. Right. So sellers are going to go online and they're going to look around and they're going to take their own information in, but they're taking it in from whatever you've put out there. So what have you put out there to get that phone call? What are you giving them to make their judgment to decide that you're the one they want to list with, right? And then you don't have to sell a home to be well known. So a lot of people will say, well, hey, Greg, I don't have a listing. How am I going to become well known? Right? So you don't have to actually sell a home, because perception's reality, because what you put out there, if it is content that helps them, if it's enticing, it's creating a feeling within that consumer base, you quite frankly don't even have to have a resume. They're going to call you because you've created the perception of care, concern, whatever your personal unique value proposition that you've created, whatever that is, and whatever you're able to articulate through marketing is going to create that incoming phone call. Whether you've sold one house or 1,000 homes, it's just as important to get the marketing and the message out there so they can find your storefront. When you walk up to Home Depot, you know what's inside. When you walk up to Dillard's, you know what's inside. Okay. When people walk up to you, what type of realtor, what type of real estate service are they going to get? If they don't know before they get to your storefront, you haven't done your job in marketing. Right now, there's 1.5 million members, a part of the National Association of Realtors. 1.5 million. That goes back to unique value proposition. Unique is the key word there. How are you unique? Okay. And so part of our class, part of what we're going to talk about, and obviously don't have enough time to do it here today, but a lot of times people use the word UVP, but they don't break it down into why am I unique? Why am I valuable? And the part that I want to talk about is how are you proposing they engage your value and your uniqueness, right? The proposition. That's where the marketing comes in. You have to be out there communicating and asking people to engage the uniqueness and the value that you're providing. But the very first thing, of course, that we would talk about in the series is what makes you unique, what makes you valuable. So that's a question you can ask yourself, you and your team, your business, your brokerage. You can all get together and kind of determine why you're different than the other 1.5 million options that these consumers have right now. Strangers, welcome. So back to that, strangers. Create a strong brand and build around it. And I am going to go pretty quick through this, so I'm not going to dive into each detail, but I'm just going to kind of roll through this. Online is your storefront. We talked about that. What does it look like today? Take a moment to think about, like, Google yourself. Go look at yourself and truly try to be critical of what you see there. Is it as good as it could be? We're all out there trying to get that next listing and that next buyer. You got to take a step back, and you got to, in many cases, have somebody hold you accountable, whether that's a coach or whether that's an administrative staff person or whether that's your broker, even another realtor in your office. Maybe use each other as accountability partners and say, hey, look at my site and tell me where I'm missing things. Where's my void? Where's my opportunity? Let's see. So how are people directed to your storefront? What kind of directionals do you have pointing to your open house? What kind of directionals do you have pointed to your web capture system? It might be, and what I mean by that is obviously that's where social media comes in. Social media is actually, its job is to point people to you so you can capture them as, for the opportunity. And then the final thing is, what are you enticing your consumers with? Why do they? So if your marketing piece is, I just sold a home, why does that entice them? It validates you, like you have the ability to transact. But if you're a realtor, that's what you're supposed to do. It's like the football players that get into the end zone and do backflips, which as a Browns fan, we actually don't like that because we don't do it that often. But they go and they do the backflips. And don't you say to yourself, dude, you're supposed to do that. That's what you get paid millions of dollars. Stop acting like you've done something. You know what I'm saying? Right? You're supposed to. So when you say I just sold a house, is that enticing? Does that create an emotion for the consumer? is that post and that content really, really strong enough for the consumers to either come do a call to action or be, I mean, it is good brand awareness, but what are you enticing them with? So online shopping and education, people are trying to educate themselves. We just talked about entice them to want to engage your service. Give customers what they want, solve problems. Jeff, this is one of his amazing topics that we really dug into and we really implemented within our team, was what problems are in the marketplace, and your marketing should be solving that problem, or you should be the answer to that problem. Yep. There isn't a marketing commercial out there. There's not a commercial out there that isn't trying to solve a problem, right? So you as a realtor, you provide a service. What problem do you solve with that service, and how are you articulating it through marketing? Yep. And so you can either solve problems. There's also other kinds of marketing, which education. People love to self-inform, right? That's why YouTube is so popular. People are going there to learn how to put a chair together, how to put multiple layers in a Canva post or an InDesign. I mean, how to run up a hill. If you literally Google or YouTube, how to run up a hill. I did this once. There's like multiple videos on the proper way to run up a hill. I mean, so they want to educate. Be the one that has the educational information that they want to find. So that could be school reports, community events. Those are things that people want to know about. Again, no listings, no problem. Kind of touched on that. There's plenty of opportunity to become the champion of the city, educate, entertain, even if you have no listing right now. So what is the marketing objective when listing a home? It's to get more listings. When you get that, the best marketing piece you could ever have is a sold sign in the front yard, period. It's not another 10 grand with Zillow. It's a sold sign in the front yard. So when you have that first listing, I see a lot of people with as quick and as hot as the market is, well, I'm going to sell this so quick that I don't even need to spend money on photos. Right? Huge mistake. Right. That's your opportunity. You just missed the best marketing opportunity. Yep. You saved $100 or $200, but that was your opportunity lost. So with that, I can kind of jump to the next part. And I was just going to hit this part too, and keeping within the time opportunity here is, how do we become number one online? Because I have a lot of people wondering how I'm able to, over the last decade, been able to show up, first in search engines and very, very popular. And I know Jeff has done the same thing. I mean, if you're Googling Michigan Realtor, you're going to find Jeff Glover or one of his many platforms that will still direct you to Jeff Glover, right? So how do you become number one online? I just like this. I saw this on Instagram once and I grabbed it. I need more SEO. Focus on Google My Business, people. One of the things that I really pride myself that I've been able to create, which is how do I say this? I'm super cheap. Okay, so we sell a lot of houses, but people that look at our P&L, they're shocked at the very little amount of money that we invest into our online marketing and such, because there are so many free resources. So folks, if you're out there and you're like, yeah, but Jeff and Greg can afford everything. My budget is, quite frankly, almost zero when it comes to this. So let's take a look at Google's golden triangle and how it's actually changed over the last year. Google's golden triangle, this is an eye chart, a heat chart of where they're seeing things. When they did a study and they watch where consumers look, when they land on a Google page after they've searched something, as you can see on the left side, you're going to see the heat map, and their eyes do go to section number 1, which are the ads, right? It's the paid ads. It's not saying that's where they're clicking, that's where their eyes are going. Yep. And then they quickly slide over to number 2, which is the businesses, Google My Business, okay? And then they slide down to number 3, and in that place, that's also part of ads. So that would be a paid opportunity. And 4 is your organic search, meaning the way that you've created your website or your landing page, etc., has the appropriate rules, and we'll go over some of those rules, obviously, in the course. But some of the rules that would allow for you to show up organically. Now, here's the cool part: number 4 and number 2 are free. So that's why I love this last slide. Google My Business, people. Why are you spending money on search engine optimization? Why are you paying for pay-per-click ads and AdWorks and Google when and half these people haven't even put their business into Google My Business? So Google My Business is free. And so number 2 and 4 are free. As you start to build your brand, build your marketing, your unique value proposition, and start to perpetuate it, really pay-per-click ads should come last, right? When you start investing, you should have already done all the free stuff first. And that's gonna take you some time.
By the way, Greg, guys, this is how advanced Greg is when it comes to marketing. Greg, I would bet 80% of our audience didn't even know what the golden triangle was. So that's already gone. That's outdated. Now we're on to the golden backwards C, right? So it's like, man, there's so much out there that we need to know. So thank you for that.
Sure, for sure. And again, please don't be scared by, like, we can go as deep or, as shallow, as basic or broad, because that really is the thing. I mean, success is sequential, but so is marketing success. Marketing success is sequential. So you've got to start with your unique value proposition. What are you trying to communicate? That will then lead you to, and we're going to talk about content here in a second, the type of content you want to create. And then that will lead you to, where do we post this in a very low cost, high return type of way? So in the end, Google's golden triangle, I mean, it's really a battle between 3 things: Google, your competitors, and users. So your website's going to show up, first of all, by understanding Google and what they want to see and who they own. So for example, Google owns YouTube. Do you think it's important to have a YouTube channel right now? So it's the second most popular website in the entire world. So Google's important. The users themselves, we just showed you how the users are utilizing Google. So how do you show up? And then finally are your competitors. If 20 people are trying to get a top Michigan realtor, right? What are they doing? How are they getting there? Let's do some research and let's figure out where they are. And that's something that we can go over, that we do go over as well. If they gain a position or if they jump you, then they're going to get all the clicks that you were trying to get, either organically or pay-per-click or what have you. But being aware of your competitors, not closing your eyes off to what somebody else is doing, but saying, you know what, let's make an attempt here, because it's an infinite world. The internet is infinite. So they might be able to beat you in one area, meaning one neighborhood. Go get another neighborhood. Go get a condo development. Go hyper local and get a building then. If Jeff Glover, I'll pick on you. If Jeff Glover is dominant, what's the building you own a condo in downtown Detroit?
The Weston Book Cadillac.
Weston Book Cadillac, right? If he's got that on lock, when you Google that and he's coming up, then go to another building that other realtors or nobody's really worked on that much. And then you become, and that's kind of hyper local. That's where you're going to be able to win. But in order to know that, you've got to do some research. And so I'm going to talk about a little bit of that. That's on the next slide here after this one. And that's what I was talking about. Being number one for what, right? You don't want to try to be, for example, top realtor. Zillow, HomeLight, Realtor.com, they're all going to win that.
Love that advice.
Right? So go long tail keyword, and that's kind of what I was talking about. Best realtor for golf course communities in Northern Michigan. And why this is working right now, long tails are more powerful than they've ever been because of one thing, because of Siri. So people actually are now talking to their phone saying, find me the best realtor in golf course communities in Northern Michigan. So Zillow doesn't have actually the ability to go long tail on everything infinitely across the United States in every city and every development. Does it?
Not only that, Greg, but consumers have more confidence in their Zillow search or their Siri search. So that, before, if you think about 5 years ago, you didn't get specific on Google because you didn't think you'd get good search results. Now you can get serious on, you can get specific on Google, and that's leading to more responses and more data coming up where we weren't necessarily counting on that before.
Beautiful. Yeah. And less competition means less cost. Because what you'll see is a theme where I'm trying, this is applicable to a brand new realtor who just got their real estate license. You can find a development that was built in the 1980s. I promise you, new construction developers aren't advertising it anymore. Realtors may not be in love with that area or that development because they're all dated. You can own that. And by the way, a $500,000 house in a 1980s neighborhood that's dated, that commission is the same as a new hot condo in downtown Detroit for 500,000. It's the exact same amount of commission dollars. And what we're doing is running a business here, and it does, so you can dominate areas. Again, go where somebody else isn't, and it'll keep your costs down. Over time, you can move into that. So how do we look at our competitors? Where are they and where are you? So there's a couple great tools called SpyFu and Keyword Spy. Keyword Spy allows you to look at your competitors and even look at your own website and kind of do some real research. Where am I showing up? Who's clicking where and how are they clicking? So let me go to the next slide. Again, I'm just with the essence of time here, I'm just kind of moving along, but is recorded. So if you want to slow me down and go really slow through this.
Everyone that's on today will be getting recorded.
Beautiful. For example, if you go some spy intel, if you just go to this keyword spy, for example, and type in Cleveland condos for sale, that's going to show you the different cost per click. That's what CPC means in the bottom left-hand corner there. So for $1.37, as an example, you could, if you type in Cleveland condos for $1.37, you can be one of those ads that shows up. That means every time somebody clicks on it, it costs you $1.37. I actually don't do this. I could do this. But we've been able to succeed in an organic fashion, and those are the tips and tricks I can obviously talk about and get into detail about to help other people do that. But here's a great example just to show you that I actually am valid in this area. If you type in again Cleveland condos for sale, what you'll notice is my Cleveland condo, which is a hyperlocal website I developed over 10 years ago. It comes up number 3, right, with 0 paid keywords. I paid 0. I do not. And I'm beating Trulia and homes.com. I'm sorry, but that's powerful. Okay. So
yeah. I know our people keep hearing, man, there's so much more detail he could go into. We just introduced Greg as our marketing coach. So trust me, there will be more to follow, more webinars, more information. Obviously at our events, we have Greg on stage now. I mean, there will be a lot more that we put out there.
Yes. And again, if you'll notice on the left side, it says organic competitors. So these are the organic competitors fighting with, and I'm doing pretty well when you look at that. Now, you also notice, I'm going to point this out too, from a marketing standpoint, you don't have to have just like, for example, we're the Easy Sales Team. The easysalesteam.com is a website. It's a site for people to understand the real estate, but people don't go online in many cases to just go find a real estate team. They're going online to, in this case, find a condo. Okay, so we have a hyperlocal website that's specific to condos in Cleveland. So the niche is condos. The niche is the city of Cleveland in this case, right? And because we live in the world of everybody, it's all about themselves, right? So that we thought that was a creative way. The other thing is a lot of domain names are taken, and again, now I'm getting in the weeds, sorry. But but just throwing my in front of it, that allows.
Yep.
And I'm going to skip again. What you're seeing here are the different. Oh, and here's a good one because it talks about the keywords. What keywords are people typing in to help us achieve that? And where you can see is on the left-hand side, those are the names of different condo developments within Cleveland, right? So the Park Building, Point East, condos in downtown. The Avenue is actually the name of a development, Grove Court. So what's happening is people are going hyperlocal. They're not looking for Cleveland condos. They're looking for that one building called the Park Building condos for sale. Because there's nothing currently for sale there, let's say, then Zillow has no interest in it. Zillow's not trying to optimize that building. They don't care because nothing's for sale there. But what we're trying to do is get clicks, and we're educating the consumer. When you drive into downtown Detroit and you drive around, I don't know which buildings are an apartment building, an office building, or condo living. No idea. That's what this problem solves. Okay. Find your problem, find the problem, find the education, the information that people continually ask for. And then just let me check my, so SEO strategies, again, we've got some different strategies. You guys can take a look at that, but the key is number 4, building content. Okay. So let's talk. I'm going to jump to that. I love, this is talking about, if you have an open house, have 10 directionals out there. Why? You want to make sure that people know you're sitting there waiting for them to come in. It's the same thing with the internet. Meet them where they're at. That means YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. But Greg, I don't like Instagram. I only like Facebook because I'm over the age of 50. Well, I'm sorry, but if you want to get those first-time home buyers, you need to fall in love with Instagram. We are all marketing gurus now. We cannot We cannot just say, well, the internet's not for me. That's like saying marketing, my business is just not for me. If you can partner with somebody, if you can hire somebody, that's great. But you are the visionary. If you're running your own business, you're an individual agent or you're a team leader or you're a broker, it is your job to set the vision and articulate that unique value proposition across marketing channels and employ other people to implement that vision. Or if you're the implementer, then you need to. Okay. But let's, if I can, I'm just looking at, time.
You're good, Greg. Yeah, keep going. You're good.
Okay. Types of content, because we all know that content is king. So I'm going to take, and on this one, I love Gary Vaynerchuk. He is an expert when it comes to the type of content that people want to see. He's a social influencer, he's got a lot of great tips. So you're going to see me go through that. But there's two types of content. There's education. Sellers want to be taught, not sold. We talked about that a little bit, right? Taught on what? How to repair, how to sell, how to move, right? The history of a house, the history of a building, the history of the city, right? How did the city come to be? Kind of interesting. It could be, what questions should be asked? Okay, so that's education. Those are some ideas. Information, the city tax rates, city services, statistical charts on real estate, sports calendars. That's information. You are the site that they can go to actually learn things, and that's what they want.
You're suggesting we add this content to any sort of websites or web presence, so that what does that do for us?
Right. It's increasing the value. You're becoming, you're enticing them. You're enticing them to actually care what you're posting. They're going to start following you and paying attention. And once they engage you online, the algorithms are going to understand that people are actually watching your video longer, right? When you watch YouTube, fun side note, I love this techie type stuff. YouTube, if you watch any good YouTuber, they're going to try to hold your attention for 1 minute and 30 seconds, because that's part of the YouTube algorithm. You've got to stay on them for 1 minute and 30. And so they like build up what they're going to talk about for 1 minute and 30, and then they get into it every single time, because that's part of the algorithm. But enticing them, having information and education and things that are interesting will get engagement and comments. And Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, they all know that consumers care what you're putting out there. If not, you will go into oblivion. Your storefronts at the back of the mall, around the corner, no one can find it. You're never getting business that way through a marketing-based solution, marketing-based platform. So finally, entertainment. Entertainment is really where a lot of people are winning in a big way. Everything, you're like, well, what is entertainment? And when you look at some of those things below, entertainment is a multi-trillion-dollar business. Everything from board games to the circus, comedy, video games, etc. So you should try to find a way to become entertaining. You are now a media company. You need to figure out how to create marketing and media and content that people are attracted to in a marketing-based strategy as building your real estate business. So different distribution choices you have: podcasts, music. So there's audio, there's video, what kind of videos, home tours, community tours, bio videos, etc. Print is also, don't forget print. Again, go where no one else is, right? So as print and postcards went away, if you're the only one sending postcards, 10 years ago, if you sent a postcard to my neighborhood, it would be one of 42 postcards, right? Now it's probably one of 3, the realtors have just stepped away from it. So go where other people are. And billboards, which Jeff is the king of. So I don't know quite.
There's a lot of organizations, Greg, there's a lot of corporations, specifically in the retail space, that are bringing back postcards, because it has become exciting again to check your mail, because you've got your phone in your hand all the time. Now it's like a journey out to the mailbox. It's like a big deal now.
I love it. Well, let me talk about one final thing, which is just content distribution. And this does come from Gary Vaynerchuk, his content model. And I know I've heard Jeff talk about this as well. And I loved it, because I basically first document the event, document the thing you want to talk about. So say you want to talk about home warranties and the value of them, right? So you'll have like a 8-minute video, and that'll go on YouTube. But then you can chop it up and you can convert that, and you can create short clips, and that can go on Instagram. And you can create Canva posts. Canva.com is a great tool for you to create marketing pieces. I think most folks know that, but if not, again, we got some new folks on here. Canva.com is a fantastic marketing platform. And you take those 2D stagnant posts and you throw those out there. And then you create an audio. So you turn in audio and now you've got a podcast because you just subtracted the audio from the video.
And Greg, Canva now does like short videos, like they'll turn a 2D image into something that moves, and that obviously helps with social media.
Yeah, once you get engaged into all these tools, the tools will continue to evolve and become better because that's the beauty of capitalism, right? They know, Canva knows if they don't keep up, somebody else is going to take their monthly fee, which is very affordable, by the way. Again, distribute and then share across all the platforms. But I only like Facebook. I'm telling you, you've got to start opening it up to the other channels, because somebody, a businessman, a CEO of a large corporation is not going to have Facebook, but he or she is going to have a LinkedIn account. So if you're not meeting him or her on LinkedIn, you're missing them. Okay. So you want to distribute that across all platforms. So this is just pointing out the number of monthly visits to Google and YouTube. 24 billion visits to YouTube. And by the way, Google owns YouTube. So where are we all spending our times as realtors? If I was to talk to 10 realtors, 10 out of 10, I would say one has a YouTube channel. The other 9 are just like, well, I dominate Facebook. Do you see the problem with that when you look at this slide? Like, granted, 19 billion is a lot, but 60, well, and again, Google's not going to point anyone to Facebook. That's a competitor. They're going to point them to YouTube. So everybody needs to, I would say one takeaway from today is, dive into YouTube and understand it. It's not going away anytime soon.
Well, and Greg, Facebook is good for, promoting to your database and staying in front of your database, where YouTube and Google goes into the getting out to the other people that you don't necessarily have access to, right? The group of people that you don't know, right? So we still utilize Facebook in a big way to keep in touch with our database, right?
Yep. Yeah. And so that right there was just, a condensed version. I could, the
we're going to keep, this is just the start, obviously, we could dig each one of those slides, we could spend an hour on. And our goal, and just so everyone watching knows this, is to do everything we can for the real estate community to share as much as we can at little or no cost to you, right? We are going to constantly pour into as many people as possible, because there are many people that have poured into us through the years. So we're going to do that. What I wanted to finish today's session with is Greg and I sat down and we wrote out the 22 areas in relation to marketing that every real estate agent should have a plan for. Now, when I say a plan, it could be a 1-page plan, it could be 1 paragraph, it could be a 5-page plan. But we actually identified all of the areas in relation to marketing that a real estate business or a real estate agent should have some type of plan for. And we're going to share those with you now. Yeah, I know we've had a few people ask, because we've had, Greg, people messaging, us as the panelists, and it's not showing up on the public side. But people have asked, okay, just get to it already. How do I sign up for Greg's program? You text marketing to 55444 if you want more information, but that's not why we're here. If you're interested in that program, yes, we have a 4-month program, which we'll get to at the end if you want to stick around for a few minutes. You text the word marketing to 55444 and you'll have all the details on that. But what I want to share with is that list. So Greg, I'll start us off. Okay. These are the 22 areas, we'll call them areas, the 22 areas in which we believe real estate agents and business owners should have a plan for in the real estate business if they want to succeed at a high level. Our goal when we share these 22 with you is that you take 15 of them, 10 of them, 12 of them. I'm not suggesting that you go get 22 of these right away. Know that the long-term goal is to have a plan for each one of these, but at least in order to have a plan, you got to know what to plan for, right, Greg? Yep. So I'll start us off and we'll go through each one of these. So the 22 areas in marketing in the real estate industry are the following. Number 1, presenting and promoting your why, mission, and unique value. Presenting and promoting your why, your mission, and your unique value. Every single one of you probably has a unique value. How well have you documented it? How well have you marketed it? How well have you promoted it? You should be able to present and promote your why, your mission or mission statement, and your unique value. That's point number 1 of 22. Go ahead, Greg.
And number two, we want you to time block, take a step back and help and really just take a moment out of this crazy life that we live in, this crazy business that we're in, and define your brand identity. What that does include your logo, your slogan, your trademark, and then patent it so that you don't lose this down the road when your empire becomes extremely successful.
Yep, absolutely. Number three, what is your plan for marketing your brand? What is your brand marketing plan, right? So you have a plan for everything you do to sell homes. You have a plan for everything you do, what we call a buyer plan of action, everything you do to help a buyer secure a home. But what is your plan for marketing your brand, getting the word out about your organization or your name?
Number four, identifying the target audience. Who are you actually communicating to and why?
Yep, identifying the target audience. Everyone's got to have that plan. Number five, what is your lead generation marketing plan? Meaning, you know what lead sources, but what are you actually going to do to generate leads from those sources in relation to marketing, right? We talked earlier about your prospecting plan or your database plan, but what is your lead generation plan specifically as it relates to marketing?
Number six, the marketing tools. This will help you in the shiny object category. Everybody wants to hire a bunch of different, there's all these tools on Instagram. There's like, you can build this and you can build that. We're going to identify and help you understand what the highest ROI is going to be and the best valuable tools are used to perpetuate your marketing message across multiple platforms.
So tools can also mean third-party resources, right, Greg? What other resources are you using? Do you have a document? Do you have a plan for these are the 17 resources? These are the 5 resources we use in my business in relation to marketing. Greg already shared a few of them, you know, that I spy thing or whatever it is, to spying your competitors, right? That's one. What are your other third-party resources you're using? Okay. Number 7, what is your plan for your website landing pages? Everyone's probably got a website. Everyone's probably got a great place where people can get your contact information and find out about you and what you do. How many landing pages do you have? What is your plan for those landing pages specifically?
Beautiful. Number 8, seller and buyer value propositions and promotions to articulate your value proposition. So a value to a buyer is different than the seller. They want different things. They have different problems. Why are you unique? What is the value you're providing, and how are you communicating that?
Love it. Number 9, what is your new construction and development plan? New construction and development, specifically marketing plan. How are you going to get more business on new construction? How are you going to be in a position to handle developments, real estate developments? What is your marketing plan for getting business from new construction and developments?
Number 10, database and marketing formula. I think the key word there is formula. I think a lot of people, well, I have a database and I sent them an email once, but that's not a formula. That's not an annual strategy. And we're going to help you develop that.
So essentially a marketing plan to your database, right? Love that. Number 11, what is your vendor marketing plan? Your vendor marketing plan. These people that you give business to, have you written out things that they can do to help you get more business, which in turn will help them get more business? Think about everyone in the industry today that you give money to or you give revenue to. Could you write out a plan for them to help them promote your business, which in turn will help theirs? We call that the vendor marketing plan.
Nice. Number 12, the online lead sources. So I would say one of the top 5 questions I see in any real estate group thing across the country, right? That I would say top 5 is what online lead sources or something related to, what do you guys think about this one or this one or this one? Jeff and I both have a very good handle on, the different options that are there for lead sources as far as how much you pay, what the commitment is there. We also know which ones produce high quality leads and which ones, that we may not recommend. So we're going to go through that.
Love that. Number 13, what is your agent to agent referral plan? Your agent to agent referral plan specifically as it relates to marketing. Do you just, well, when I see posts on Facebook, I respond and I try to get a referral. Have you actually written out things you can do to market yourself as an expert to other agents? We're always thinking about how do we market ourselves to buyers? How do we market ourselves to sellers? How often are you thinking about how you can market yourself to agents? The agent-to-agent marketing plan for agent-to-agent referrals.
And the number 15, institutional versus promotional, indirect versus indirect.
14, Greg, you skipped online referral sites.
Sorry. Oh, let me do 5. Sorry about that, guys. Everybody across the country scratching out something now, my bad. Number 14, online referral sites and past client reviews. I mean, obviously that definitely is going to fill up an entire 40 minutes, 45 minutes or so.
Yes, writing out a plan to get more past client reviews, right? What is your plan for that? And do you update it every single year? Number 15, institutional versus promotional marketing plan. Okay, think about this for a second. You have put together a value proposition of everything you present to a seller when you go on a listing appointment. You've put together a value proposition of everything you present to a buyer when you go on a buyer consultation. Have you put together a plan to promote your team or your company or your business? The difference between institutional and promotional. Promotional marketing is promoting a product. Institutional marketing is promoting an institution, a company, an organization, a team. What is your institutional marketing plan? Most of you probably have promotional marketing plans. I want to know what your institutional marketing plan is.
Number 16, content. I love this one, content creation and marketing message. Again, folks like Gary Vaynerchuk are saying, as a realtor, you need to convert into a media company, a marketing content creator. That's what the job of a realtor. Remember, when you go to list a house, you're marketing, not just the home, but yourself, your business, your UVP, everything, marketing. So content, and I think a lot of people are not naturally creative, so they struggle with that. So we're going to go over some different content creation ideas and the marketing message and why.
So actually having a plan for your content before the month begins, right? So we know when we go into September, here's everything we're doing in September in terms of content. I love that. Number 17, what is your videography, your video and copywriting plan? Meaning, have you actually written out the videos that you want to produce, the Facebook lives you want to do, the reasons to go, or the reasons to go live on Facebook, right? Meaning writing out every time I have a closing, I go live on Facebook. Every time I'm at an inspection, I go live on Facebook. What is your plan for video, specifically as it could relate to YouTube, or which we talked a little bit about, or even Facebook Lives? Everyone has to have a video plan each and every month.
Right, in this one, I'm excited to actually learn from Jeff mostly on, but radio, billboard, television, and OTT advertising. And I'll let Jeff talk about that. That has been his. I would say that's one of your staples when it comes to marketing. Not so much for us, but for you.
Yeah.
I can't wait to.
Yeah. Well, we did it backwards. We started with the expensive stuff. We started with the radio, billboard, TV, and now over the top. OTT stands for over the top advertising. I'm not necessarily suggesting everyone finish this webinar and go write out a plan for that. You have to have a certain level of revenue in order to be able to afford to do those. And by the way, I didn't spend 1 single cent on advertising until our GCI was at least $1 million in GCI. And we started actually with a very small, not that well known of a radio station. And that led to 2 radio stations. That led to 5 radio stations. And that led to billboard. So when you're ready, what is I call this your mass advertising campaign. What is your mass advertising plan? You can't just haphazardly say, I want that billboard. I want to be on that radio station. Why? Who is the audience? Who's driving by? Who's listening? What is your message going to be? You have to have a mass marketing plan at some point when you're ready for it. You want me to take 19 then? I guess we'll keep the same order. 19. What is your print, direct mail, and farming plan? Print, direct mail, and farming is part of marketing in a real estate agent's business plan. Again, these are all things that should be part of your business plan. I don't expect you to do all 22 right out of the gate, but when we look at every single thing an agent can do to build a big business, it includes something in these 22 areas.
Awesome. Number 20, I'm extremely passionate about, and that is recruiting marketing and building a brand within a brand. So if you're a realtor in a large brokerage house, if you're a realtor on a team inside a brokerage house, those are 3 different brands, right? There's the brokerage, there's the team that you're on, but there's also yourself. How do you create a brand that also benefits the brand above you? So for example, Target has Starbucks inside it. that's a win. That's a win-win. Target wins because Starbucks elevates its brand because of the affiliation, and Target and Starbucks both elevate their own. So how are you developing your own brand? I think a lot of people are not even aware they should be working on their own brand because they're like, well, I'm in this brokerage and they'll just do it for me. Or, well, I'm on this team and they'll do it for me. You yourself are unique, and you need to let the world know who and what your value is.
That's right. I think one thing that we have embraced in a big way at Jeff Glover and Associates, and I know the Easy Sale team has as well, is helping our agents develop and build their own brands, because having a brand within a brand is crucial. We see a million examples of that across the country, across North America, really. All right, number 21, having a social media marketing plan. What is your social media marketing plan? I cannot believe it's number 21. That probably should be number 1 or 2, right? But number 21 is, what is your social media marketing plan or your social media calendar, right? Having a plan each month for what the posts are, what you're going to talk about. It's National Pizza Day, it's National Margarita Day, it's Hump Day, whatever. You have to have a plan for that each and every month.
And then finally, number 22, drip campaigns, email, text, and CRM. All the different channels of communication, you should have a strategy around each one of those.
Yep. So drip campaigns, I love that. Well, and if you complete 1 through 21, you're going to have a lot of reasons to do drip campaigns. You're going to have a lot of reasons to send out emails to your database. So having some type of drip email campaign plan is important each and every year, quite frankly, when you're putting together your business plan. Somebody asked a question, what was number 20? That's your recruiting marketing plan, and brand within a brand plan. Your recruiting marketing plan and your brand, we kind of combine that one together. Recruiting marketing plan and your brand within a brand plan. Say that 10 times, right, Greg?
Right.
So there you have it, 22 plans or strategies that I don't care whether you're selling 20 homes a year or 2,000 homes a year, you're going to have to start to develop these. Now, we have questions all the time from people. All right, that's a lot, Greg. Okay, and here's what I love about what we just did. Whether you hire us or not to help you, you can take that list of 22 and you can run with it as far and wide and long as you want. If you want our help, all right, we are excited to announce, and many of you have already heard this because we announced it at our retreat last month in Traverse City. We are excited to announce we have a new program. It is the newest program at Glover U, and it's called Marketing Mastery. In fact, we have taken those 22 topics that you just wrote down, and we have put them into a 16-week program to where Greg and myself are sharing everything we do in each one of those 22 areas. That's super exciting. This will be the first time we've ever done this. Greg, for me, I'm actually a little nervous because I haven't actually shared everything with everyone. And this is the first time we're like, nope, we're not holding back. We're sharing everything. You're good with that, right, Greg?
I'm totally.
I probably should have asked you before we were on.
Yeah, it really is. It's an unfair concept. When you think about the number 1 real estate team in Michigan, number 1 real estate team in Ohio, combining, and by the way, folks, we didn't market the same way. We didn't get to the same spot the same way. And so what we're doing is we're combining it all together and offering, you guys that unfair advantage.
We'll ask the question, what about an investor marketing plan? I think that's a great idea. For us, it would probably fall under the new construction / development, meaning it's a unique client situation. So I love that. Thank you, Will, for adding that one. So if people want to work with Greg and myself, so we're announcing the program Marketing Mastery. And if I can have someone from Glover U pull that up on the screen, that would be helpful. The first time we run with this program, it's going to be taught by both Greg and I. So what's unique about that is this will be the only time we're both doing the program. Because after the first time we do it, Greg, you're on your own, my friend, which I know obviously you're going to do a really good job of it. So it's a 16-week course specifically designed to help you become a marketing master in the real estate industry. Our first launch is starting next week, the 24th. Oh my gosh, that's next week already, Greg.
Yep.
And it's not like some, $15,000, $20,000 program. it's $399 a month for 4 months. That's it, right? So it's not like this super crazy, $5,000, $10,000 program. I mean, you do one deal out of the 22 topics, you're going to pay the cost of the program. If you want more information, text the word marketing to 55444. But that's what's included. Once a week for 45 minutes, we're doing a live Zoom. We're keeping the group, by the way, we're keeping it to 75 or less. Why are we doing that? Because we want to have some interaction after the session is over. So it's a good 35, 45 minutes of content and another 7 to 10 minutes of information. Again, it's a 16-week course that's starting next week, 45-minute live Zoom. You're not sitting and watching a video. It's interactive. You have a chance to ask questions, and we're going to answer questions. There's also going to be a private Facebook group for just the people that are in the program, which is super cool because you'll get to say, hey, how are you guys doing with implementing that? How are you guys doing with putting this in there? What you'll learn, there's a laundry list of things that you're going to learn, but essentially those 22 things you wrote down, it's Greg and I's goal to make sure that you come out of each one of those sessions with content, material, information that you can use to move your business forward in all of those 22 areas that you just wrote down. Now, here's the good news. Whether you join us for the program or not, you got the 22 areas that we're covering. So you could go do your research. You could go do all of this to learn on your own, and you don't have to pay a cent. It's just going to obviously cost you some time and some research. Or you can join Greg and I starting next week. And what's unique about this program, number one, we just launched it. It's our newest program, and we're excited to deliver it. This particular session, the very first time, it's both Greg and I. So you're getting like two of us for the price of one, I guess you could say, if I'm using some cheesy sales lines here, right, Greg?
Yeah, I like it.
All right, so it's $3.99 a month for 4 months. You want more information, you text marketing to 55444. That's marketing to 55444. They threw that down there in the chat. And last but certainly not least, you got the resources, you know where to find us. Make sure in the Glover U Inner Circle, make sure you've subscribed to the Glover Gazette. And we will, if we don't see you in the Marketing Mastery course, we are looking forward to seeing you at our next big event, which you know is, of course, and hopefully, you know, COVID numbers and everything have improved by then, but it's not until January. So we've got some time, but we'll see everyone in Orlando, Florida this January. I don't know about you, Greg, but I'm excited to be down in Florida in the middle of winter.
Always.
Yes. All right, good. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you guys. Thank you for joining us. This completes the Sizzling Summer webinar series. You got all 6 of them. And if you're wondering, where's the other ones? Go to gloveru.com/webinar. They're all recorded. They're all right there for you. So if you missed 1 or 2 of them or all of them, go to gloveru.com/webinar. They're all there for you. We'll look forward to seeing you in the Marketing Mastery program. And if we don't see you there, we'll see you sometime soon. Thanks for joining us, guys. Have a great rest of your summer.